Mark Carney and the Liberal Party are treasonous. They are traitors to this country. For those who have yet to see, today, new government numbers were announced. In the past decade, the Canadian government has spent $1.1 billion on housing new immigrants to this country. $1.1 billion. Is at the same time when a record 2 billion Canadians are using food banks. We rank 50th out of 50 countries measured in terms of GDP per capita, despite the fact that we have incredible natural resources in Canada. Every economic indicator since Justin Trudeau was elected in 2015 has been lagging on a downward trajectory. Canadians are struggling like never before, and our government is spending our tax dollars, $1.1 billion on housing immigrants. How is that defined as anything else but treasonous? Please explain to me how that's anything but treason. A government's primary responsibility is to look after the citizens who elected. Our government has done the exact opposite of that. They are serving interests that are not the Canadian people. Our current Prime Minister, Mark Carney, who is Trudeau's chief economic advisor and has played a massive role in this over 8 million immigrants arriving in the country in the past decade, spent his entire career at the WEF, Davos, and Brookfield. These are elite global institutions who do not serve the interests of the Canadian people. They serve the opposite of the interests of the Canadian people. You look at what's going on in Western countries all over the world with mass immigration, these ESG, so-called green policies that are hurting Western economies. Their goal is actually the antithesis of what's good for Western countries. What they want is what's good for a very small group of elite people. And in Canada, it is playing out to perfection. You know who benefits from 8 million immigrants a year? It certainly is not the Canadian people. It is an incredibly small percentage of incredibly wealthy business owners who love the fact that the country is flooded with middle and low income workers because basic economics, supply and demand. You flood the zone with supply, demand goes down. That's exactly what's happening in Canada. And the Canadian people, I am hoping, I know that no Canadian news will report this number. You won't see this on the CBC. You won't see this on CTV. You won't see this on any of the state propaganda. But $1.1 billion, after no reports on how much had been spent on the past decade, they try to slip it under the rug today. And Canadians should be petrified and angry as hell. This is good versus evil. Our government has worse than betrayed us. Our government is working against our interests. Canadians need to wake up to the fact that the Canadian government wants you poor. They want you working paycheck to paycheck. They want you their little slave. That's exactly what they want. And that's why Mark Carney announced that in 2025, 75% of Canadians say we already have too many immigrants, we can't afford anymore. Mark Carney just came out and said in 2025, between permanent, temporary, and student visas, we're going to allow another 1 million immigrants into the country. Please explain to me, how is this a democratic society? How can you claim it's a democracy, which is supposed to represent the will of the people, when you have an overwhelming majority? It is incredibly rare to find anything that you can poll people on where you will find 75% agreement. It's actually over 75% in certain polls, but 75% agreement, we have too many immigrants, and they continue to allow them in. You know why? It's because the globalist agenda, the WF, Davos, these elite institutions want to flood the zone with housing so that Carney can set up his $25 billion prefab housing plan. They can continue to make money hand over fist. Canada's housing market has gone insane like no other due to this unlimited mass immigration. And there's an incredibly small percentage of global elites who Mark Carney represents who are getting insanely rich over this. But our government is treasonous. Mark Carney looks out for the interest of an incredibly small percentage of people. The 0.01 of the 0.01 at Brookfield who benefit from these so-called green initiatives, who benefit from the fact that Our housing market is out of control. They say that we need another 3.5 million houses in Canada by the year 2025. Guess how many the Liberal government says they're going to build? 30,000. Yet they continue to allow millions in. These are traitors. We need to wake up to the fact that our government is filled with traitors who hate us. If you are a normal, everyday Canadian, your government hates you. We need to hit the streets, start making our voices heard. Because otherwise, making noise on social media isn't going to do anything. We need to follow suit what the UK, what Australia are doing. If you're interested in supporting me, getting the word out, I'm going to be yelling about this every day. Hit the link in my bio, donate, grab some gear. Please like, subscribe, and share. We need to start making our voices heard because clearly our government is incapable of reading polling data and they hate us. They'll ignore it no matter what. We have to get out on Parliament Hill. We need to start making our voices heard because we are being led by traitors who hate this country. Mark Carney spent the majority of his adult life outside Canada, not even in this country. Bet you he doesn't have any ancestors who died in World War I, World War II. These are treasonous, soft, I'm not even going to say it, but it is time for Canadians to wake up and fight back now.